Hey familia, Miranda here, and today I have a haul for you. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you probably already know where this is coming from, but yesterday I did hit up a library sale. So I have a couple of big local libraries in my area, and twice a year they do a sale, once in the spring and once in the fall. And so this first one that I went to, they typically have $1 DVDs and $2 Blu-rays. Unfortunately, I actually did not find any Blu-rays this time around. Like literally all the Blu-rays they had, I already had in my collection, except for like Star Wars, Star Trek. Wasn't interested in any of that. But I mean, they had just a lot of super common titles like, you know, Transformers and Fast and the Furious, and just a lot of like repeat like kids like Disney and DreamWorks films that I already have in the collection. So I didn't look out on any Blu-rays, but you guys, somehow I managed to walk out of there with 27 DVDs. That was very, very unexpected, considering I have been trying to cut back on buying DVDs just because I'm kind of trying to focus more on my Blu-ray collecting and upgrading and all of that. But somehow, I don't know how, I did some damage, you guys, and I got a bunch of DVDs for the collection. I did find an out of print title. I did find a TV season, which normally the TV seasons are supposed to be like $2, but they gave it to me for $1. And then there's a bunch of like cartoon stuff, and I got some snappers, of course, Christmas titles and all that. So got quite a little variety going on here today. So we're gonna go on ahead and get into that. I was kind of considering waiting because at the end of the month, the other library is having their sale. But I was like, you know what? Just by chance, if I can't make it to that sale, I just wanted to get this haul out and share it with you guys. So let's dive on in and see what I picked up at this library sale. All right, so again, if you follow me on Instagram, you guys already saw a sneak peek of this one. It's probably the one item that I'm most excited about. And so I found the 8th season of House on DVD for $1, you guys. This is like seriously the hardest season to come by. Like they had, I think actually all of the seasons there. But this was the only one that I was needing. And I have some seasons on Blu-ray, some on DVD. I don't really, care. I'm just happy to finally, pick up the last season. Now my House, series is complete. So I was super stoked to have found this one for $1. Pretty dang awesome. So yeah, you got all the discs and everything in here. So I am excited to have this one. All right, next up, I guess somebody must have like dumped their entire like Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry collection there at the sale or something, because there was a ton of titles. All of Tom and Jerry I already had in my collection, at least the titles that I saw there anyways, but I did snag some Scooby titles that I did not have. You guys know I enjoy collecting the, Scooby-Doo flicks and all that. So first up is the Scooby-Doo's Original Mysteries. So this is actually the first 5 episodes ever created. So that's pretty cool. Did not have this one, and yeah, for being the first 5 episodes, definitely wanted that one. Next up we have Scooby-Doo Mask of the Blue Falcon. It's the original movie. And then we have Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. This one I think last month actually got a Blu-ray release, but when it comes to like the Scooby movies, you guys, I'm fine with them on DVD. I'm not really concerned about upgrading them or anything like that. Just happy to have them in the collection because I love Scooby growing up, and hubby loves it. And so, from time to time, we like to just watch the movies, episodes, all of that. And then the last Scooby film I have here is Winter Wonder Dog. All right, these next few titles I was actually very surprised to find, because in my area, like in the thrift stores, you never see these titles at all. I have one other one in the collection that was actually sent to me by Movie John, but I found some Goosebumps movies. And I remember the show back in the day. Like, yeah, I was a fan of the books, fan of the show. But so we have Goosebumps, Say Cheese and Die. And these ones, I love that they come in the like purple case. So I found that one. And then I did find How I Got My Shrunken Head, as well as Shocker on Shock Street. Gonna have to change the case out on this one, but yeah, I was super stoked to find these because, like I said, these you never find them in my area in the thrift stores. You just don't. All right, so next up, I did find a few little Christmas cartoon flicks for the collection. This one I wasn't even aware about. I knew that there was the first film, but I did not know they made a second one. But we have the Simpsons Christmas 2. So yeah, like I said, I did not know there was a second one. I've seen like, in like posts and stuff, the first film, but never, like I didn't know that they made a second Christmas one. This one I know has a Blu-ray release, but honestly, I mean, I don't really expect much from this film. Not really concerned about upgrading it. I've seen it on Blu-ray in the thrift store, but for some reason, they always mark it kind of pricey, and so I just have always passed on it. But for $1, I mean, we have Prep and Landing, and then Prep and Landing, Naughty versus Nice. So it's like a little double feature. It's not even very long. I think it's like around, Each one's like 23 minutes. So they're super short little films, but I figured, you know, go ahead and, you know, check them out. I don't know if they're any good, but hey. And then I did find Phineas and Ferb, A Very Perry Christmas. I enjoyed the show, you know, growing up and stuff. Always did like Perry. So I thought this would be a fun little kind of Christmas watch. All right, so we're going to get into all of the other kind of DVDs and then into the snappers. So we got some Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin in All of Me. I did not see this one having a Blu-ray release, but I really enjoyed the two of them, so wanted to go ahead and pick that one up, check it out. This one I've had on my wish list for a while, so I was actually super happy that this time around I was able to scratch a few from my Amazon wish list. This one I was wanting for the Ben Affleck collection. You also have Sam Rockwell in here and Alyssa Milano, French Stewart, Megan Ward, and that is School Days. I don't think I've ever seen this, but I've always heard of it, so I'm happy to have this one in the collection now. This next one, I kind of had forgotten this movie was even out there. It does have Paris Hilton in it, and I remember this being pretty dang bad, but I wanted to get it for $1. Like, I had to get this, you guys. And I just remember, like, I know I've seen this because the artwork is just kind of like iconic, but it's this 9 Lives. So yeah, I'm gonna rewatch this one and see how bad it is, because like I said, I remember this being pretty dang bad, but and for Paris Hilton, I had to get that one, you guys. Next up is this film here with Nicole Kidman. It's called Birthday Girl. I'd never heard of this one, but I do love me some Nicole Kidman, and it just looked like a great little, like, kind of edge of your seat thriller type thing. So yeah, I guess this girl, she's this like mail order bride or whatever, and I don't know, she comes with like all these secrets. Her sister or something, or a friend, pops in to visit her on her birthday, and I guess there's just like a lot of like crazy stuff happening and stuff. All right, next up is this film here called Hot Times at Montclair High. Like, with a title like that, I just couldn't pass on this one. Honestly, it's just one of those like high school, you know, base flicks and stuff. And obviously you have a lot of, you know, probably like sex, drugs, all of that and whatnot. And so it just seemed like a fun time, probably kind of similar to, you know, like Fast Times at Ridgemont or like Dazed and Confused. Definitely seems to be a lot of like different characters in here, so it just seemed like a fun kind of, you know, coming of age type flick, so got that one. Next up is this film here. We got some more Nicole Kidman, also has Michael Keaton, and it's called My Life. This one definitely seems like a tearjerker, you guys. Oh my goodness, so I'm probably gonna need my box of tissues for this one. But basically, he's, you know, terminally ill, and I guess she is pregnant with their son, and so he starts making this kind of like home movie that's kind of, you know, giving his unborn son all these lessons in life and as a man and all of that. And so definitely is one that seems a bit on the kind of heartbreaking side, so we'll be needing my tissues for this one probably. All right, and then I did find this out of print title, and I was super stoked to find this one because I'd actually learned about this film through Joe and Marie. Marie was one time talking about it in a video that they did, and I believe she actually said it was kind of a hard watch, but it is Killing Mr. Griffin. It does only have a DVD release. I saw it on eBay and everything, and I've seen it go for as much as like $100 or whatever. But yeah, I'm very, very curious about this one. Basically, you have this group of students who do this prank, and the teacher, he's like a very unlike teacher. I guess they end up killing him. So it seems pretty good, you guys. So I'm very curious to check this one out, per kind of what I heard, you know, Joe Marie talking about on this one. So yeah, and so excited to check that one out. Next up, surprisingly, I did not have this film, well actually either of these films, in the collection. It is a double feature, and so that is Dennis the Menace and also Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. I remember watching these so much as a kid, and I did not have Dennis the Menace in the collection. I don't know why, I just didn't. So I was super happy to come across this. And then next up, I know this has a Blu-ray release, but I actually do believe that the Blu-ray release is actually out of print. But I didn't have this one in the collection either, and it's one that I'd been meaning to add into the collection. Like, I think I had it at one point, and I don't really know what happened to my copy of it. But we do have The Grudge here. Definitely, for me, honestly, one of Sarah Michelle Gellar's better roles, and I mean, I like it. Has the, you know, DVD slip and everything, so pretty cool, but I'm just happy to add this one back into the collection. All right, so getting on into the snappers, you guys, I do believe like half of these do actually have Blu-ray releases. The other half do not, but I was just happy to come across these. That's the one thing about this sale is that I always like finding the snappers there because they do tend to have quite a bit. There was several that I already had in the collection, but I was actually very stoked to find all of these because none of these are ones that I had in the collection. And all but one title I did actually have, but I'll get to that in a minute. But anywho, first up we have Running on Empty. This is a film that I've heard great things on. The storyline kind of seems very interesting, but basically you have this family that I guess blew up this lab or whatever, and so they're fugitives and they've like had to like change their name and everything because they are on the run and stuff, so hiding their identities and all that. So it seems kind of wild, so I don't know. I'm very curious to check this one out though. Next up, we got some Clint Eastwood and Kevin Costner in A Perfect World. I'd never heard of this one, but it actually looks pretty dang good. I don't know. I think this might have been part of like a Clint Eastwood like collection set. I'm assuming that they maybe have like a snapper set or something out there, but I was very intrigued by this one. So next up, we got Lean on Me. I have seen this one. I do actually have this in the collection on a multi-feature or on a double feature set with Stand and Deliver. But I do plan on eventually upgrading Stand and Deliver to Blu-ray since it just got the Blu-ray treatment. And so this one, so that I can get rid of the double feature, I figured I would pick up the DVD here in a snapper. So pretty stoked for that one. This one too, I know has... I actually want to say it might be 4K or maybe it is just Blu-ray that came out, I want to say like last year, but we have Michael Douglas in Coma. So curious about that one. Next up, I got this one really for Matthew Broderick. I'd never heard of this film, but it's called Lady Hawk. So a couple more. This one I was immediately just for the cast, you guys. Don Cheadle, Cicely Tyson, Mekhi Phifer. Wow. It is this film here called A Lesson Before Dying. I'd never heard of this one. It looks like it's some sort of, I don't know if it's like a, let's see. It has to do with like some sort of like racial injustice and stuff. So it looks like to be some sort of maybe like a court drama of some sort, or, you know, prison flick. I don't know. Something along those lines, a mix of the two. I don't know. But it definitely looks really good. And the cast, I'm loving it. And last but not least, I did go ahead and snag Above the Law. Got some more Steven Seagal for the collection. Like I said, I'm not really huge into his films, but I wanted to go ahead and pick this one up. I know it has a Blu-ray release, but I'm not too concerned about upgrading right now or anything. Just kind of happy to add this one into the collection. So that is everything that I picked up at this library sale, you guys. Let me know what you thought of today's pickups. Thank you so much for watching. Join the family if you have not, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.